The fishing news is brought to you by Shoreline Insurance Agency.
Win the incredible Steigercraft, Evinrude, Lowrance Grand Prize Boat Package, and more in the Fisherman's 2018 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Get the details at thefisherman.com.
I'm following my report this week from Key West, Florida, where it's 88 and sunny. Sorry to rub that in, especially because the weather up north has made it really tough to get out there and fish. But if you ever make the drive through the Keys, be sure to stop by at Bud & Mary's in Islamorada and feed the tarpon and get a taste of one of the premier sport fishing destinations in the world. The staff there are knowledgeable, super friendly, and can hook you up with a great charter. Despite what you may be thinking, I'm not here for Fantasy Fest. I'm here just visiting some old friends. Also, as a reminder that the Fisherman's November issue is out now. Look for it in your mailbox or on the newsstand. Now let's find out what's happening around the island. First stop is Montauk with Tom Michaleski of Grand Slam Charters.
Thanks, Tim. I'm sitting in my car here out of Montauk. Mate is cleaning up the boat. We had a good day on the water today. Monday, striped bass all over the north side and off in the rips in Montauk. We've been having wave after wave of different year classes and sizes of stripers pass by Montauk since September 15th. I hear guys complaining that there's no fish in the surf. Well, I don't know where they're going, but they're passing by Montauk and they're heading that way down the South Shore. We had plenty of fish today, mostly on umbrellas and parachutes. You could have got them diamond jigging, but we stuck with the trolling today. I also went and did some blackfishing locally for an hour. In about an hour, we had a dozen fish, 4 keepers. It was a good start. I didn't really do much sea bassing today because I had stripers in the boat and I couldn't go out to the good areas in EEZ because I'm prohibited. But out there off of Block in the 80, 90 feet of water, there's still plenty of sea bass and porgies. And there's still false albacore around. They were frolicking on the surface all day today. I saw the fly guys chasing them with the fly rods. So they're still around. So the water's still a little warm. There's bait all over the place. The machine is lit up constantly. That's the full run. I think we still got a few innings left, so get out there and fish when the weather allows.
From Fire Island, let's check in with Captain Al Lorenzetti.
Hey Tim, Fire Island's got some action. Some nice bass just showed up. Nova fish 30 pounds, caught just outside the inlet on the troll. Some fish kind of moved on the inside too, some fish on eels at night. And I'm sure we're going to have fish during the day on plugs and live bait coming up here during this week. So, and also the false albacore and green bonita are all over in the ocean, birds on them, a lot of action, and that's really happening strong. So let's hope the weather improves and we get out there and catch some good fish.
From Captree, let's check in with Brendan Ritigliano.
Thanks, Tim. Some bass on the beach up to 30 pounds. Cocktail blues are in the mix as well. Here's Eric from the shop that caught a nice bass off of Democrat Point this weekend. This week we went to Salmon River to catch some salmon up there. Here's a report from up there.
Hey guys, we're here at Tailwater Lodge in Altamar, New York during the salmon run. There's a bunch of salmon and steelhead being caught. There's some trout being caught as well. We came up here for a wedding. Congratulations, Craig and Kay Forbes, on your wedding. And it's a pleasure to be up here with Tailwater Lodge and everybody else. As you can see from behind me, there's actually a guy on a steelhead right now. So come up here, the season's still going on, and yeah, thanks again.
Also this week we have some blackfish off the boats, some nighttime bass fishing off of eels. The Captree boats are doing pretty well, they're picking at them. Offshore, there's actually been some threshers, 60 feet of water. There's been some longfin a lot farther out from there. Here's a picture of my buddy Matt from the Island Princess that caught this nice longfin. And yeah, that's about it this week. Thanks again, and we'll see you for next week's tournament, November 3rd. And it's a striped bass boat tournament, so come check it out. You can sign up in the shop.
From Oceanside, let's check in with Captain Joey Leggio, who has been up all night working on his report.
Thank you, Tim. Report at Debs Inlet is basically probably the same as in every other inlet. Wind and lots of it. It's pretty tough to get out there, with my small 23-foot skiff. Did one trip with Lloyd on Monday on the Nancy, 32-foot. Carolina was able to get out. It was a little rough, but we got up on Rockaway Reef. We had some action, a lot of short life, but only managed 5 keepers. It was an off day, as the other boats were complaining as well. Yesterday, headed over to the bridge. Had 2 guys out with me, Dave and his buddy. We clam chummed, managed 17 stripers on the tide, and then switched it over on the slack, ran over to the pylons, and then had 14 small blackfish. No keepers, but, a lot of fun for the guys, bending the rod, and, they weren't getting our butts kicked out there in the ocean. That's basically it for my report out of Debs.
From the North Shore, we have Peter Tarnowski.
Thanks, Tim. Well, the weather has been really bad lately. Everybody knows that. Tried to get out on Sunday a little bit. We went out of the Lake of Stacks, launched from there. Got about a half a mile out, and we turned right back around. Waves were too big. It was too dangerous to even try to get situated anywhere. So we came back in, went on the bay side, Huntington Bay, Northport Bay, launched out of Hobart Beach. And you know what? I tell you, even in the bay, there were white caps and 2 to 3 footers. We couldn't really get situated to try and blackfishing inside the bay either. So we did find a little cove where we were able to at least get on some schoolie striped bass. So we were able to salvage a day that was a little bit rough, and had a good time. Thanks, Tim. Back to you. Bye.
Also on the North Shore, we have Mark McGowan of Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle.
Hey, thanks, Tim. This week's report centers around strong winds. It's been a Surfcasters world. I just got in from the beach. We're having a great time. This week we saw a flurry of fish from 14 to 16 pound range, bluefish that were hitting the beach, just pounding the hell out of peanut bunker. In the back of the harbors, we've had some nice fish. Fun times throwing worms, bait. Seems to be the ticket for some of these striped bass. You can work on lures, but they're really focused on the peanut bunker. So you have to start getting a bit creative to catch fish. The blackfish scene has been fantastic if you can get out on the boat. I think this week we had like maybe 2 days where you were able to get out. The blackfishing's been very good. If you have trouble getting out on your boat, you might want to look to one of the local party boats we have. James Joseph's a good boat. He's out quite a bit, and that boat handles the wind well, and they've been catching a lot of blackfish. Keep your eye open for squid. Squid have made a show locally for us, so this week and the following weeks looks like people are going to be on the docks in the evening and doing some squid fishing. So that's the report. Thank you, Tim. Back to you.
For all the surf action, we have Fred Golofaro, senior editor of the Fisherman magazine.
Hey, thanks, Tim. I'm not a happy camper today. I dropped 2 really nice fish on the beach over Fire Island. But the good news is that we definitely have a fall run going on finally with some decent fish. Had a number of fish, several fish over 40 pounds this past weekend. And it's not just East Hampton, Southampton anymore. There's good fishing at Democrat Point on Sunday morning. Fish this morning over here. And there's fish up on the North Fork. The North Fork's been pretty hot. A lot of small fish, but fish up to 15, occasionally you hear of an 18 or a 20 pounder up there. But just a sampling of some of the fish taken in the last few days. There was a 48 from Demo on Sunday. There was also a 35 and a half that was weighed in at Salt Waters from Demo same day. Nicky, Paulie's son from Paulie's Bait and Tackle, he had a 41 in Montauk on Saturday night. And that fish leads the local tournament, by the way. Matt Broderick from J&J, he had a 41 pounder out east on the weekend. Whitewater weighed a 49 pounder from one of the Southampton beaches on the weekend. Ed Sikja, he had a 40 pounder along Southampton, East Hampton area. That was Sunday morning. He weighed that at Tight Lines. Ken over at Tight Lines called it an amazing week out along that stretch of the South Fork. Up on the North Fork again, I had reports of some guys catching 20, 25 bass, and it's one of the few places where there are some bluefish. So whatever you do, get out there. We've got the Babylon Cup this weekend. There is a nor'easter in the forecast, and that could be real good in certain areas if you can find the right kind of water. And just try to get out now, because there are some nice fish around, and who knows how long it's going to last. Until next week, Fred Golofaro here for thefisherman.com.
Relentless winds and a rough ocean kept offshore reports to a minimum this weekend, and it's not looking any better for the weekend. When boats could get offshore, sharks were still very much in evidence, and there were increased rumblings of bluefin tuna action. But good weather windows are becoming increasingly difficult to find. As a result, many captains are already redirecting their efforts to inshore blackfish and the fall striped bass run. If you'd like to be part of our weekly fishing video forecasts, we're looking for social media savvy anglers for hyperlocal reporting from around the New York Metro and Long Island area. So if you're a captain, tackle shop, or just an avid angler, contact me at libayrat@gmail.com. For links and more information, be sure to check out this video's description on YouTube. Remember, like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine to be part of the Dream Boat contest. Get out there, catch 'em up. This is Tim C. Smith reporting from Key West with a great sunset.